There's something about being in your early 20s that can feel so isolating. I turned 22 over the summer. I now have a full-time job, and yet I still live at home with my parents. And it's weird because I'm technically an adult, but I don't always feel like one. I always imagined that by now I'd be living on my own, having that typical New York City in your 20s experience, going out with friends, making spontaneous plans, feeling like I had my life together. But in reality, postgrad has been a lot lonelier than I expected it to be. I don't have a big friend group. I never really have. And lately I've been feeling like I honestly don't have that many friends at all. But despite all of that, I've been relearning and reteaching myself how to enjoy my own company. And today was one of those days where I just wanted to take myself out to just exist in the city without needing anyone else to be there with me. Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If you're wondering where I am, I'm literally sitting in my apartment lobby because I realized that I forgot to film an intro for this video. But today we're gonna be doing a little solo day in the life in New York City. I feel like that's all of my vlogs. You're probably wondering, like, does this girl even have any friends? I do, but I really like to do things by myself, and I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I've been trying to force myself to actually enjoy my weekends and do things even if it means I'm doing them on my own. My plans for today are to go get some ramen. I also need to do a little bit of shopping because my friend and I haven't exchanged our Christmas gifts yet, and I only have half of her gift. I also want to see if I can do some thrifting or secondhand shopping, so we'll see what I end up doing. But yeah, let's go. Postgrad life is so weird. It's a huge transition. Suddenly the routines you had for years just stop. Your friends are busy, everyone's on their own schedule, and making plans feels so much harder than it used to. And honestly, it's been hard not to compare, especially because on social media, it seems like everyone in their 20s is either living out their best life, moving into their dream apartment, or constantly going out with friends. And part of me feels like I'm somehow missing out and wasting my life, my 20s, all of my time away. To be honest, I think this is something I've always sort of struggled with because growing up, I was a pretty shy kid, and by default, I'm naturally also very introverted, so it's always been more difficult for me to find people and make friends. I graduated 7 months ago now, and I feel like I've learned more about friendship in that time than I ever have before. This past year, I lost a few people I thought would always be in my life, and I think that's just a normal part of growing up, but sometimes it genuinely feels like the universe is just plotting on my downfall. I kind of have to remind myself often that a lot of things are truly just out of my control, and that I'm not inherently a bad person because a friendship didn't pan out. Even reminding myself that isn't enough. Sometimes it feels like I'm the only one going through all of this, even though I am very much so well aware that it's not an original experience. In your early 20s, everyone is equally lost, no matter what social media might make it seem like. We are all simultaneously figuring out who we are, what we want, and where we're going, and sometimes that means that you're growing in different directions. Not every single friendship fades after college, but sometimes life kind of just happens. You start focusing on different things, and suddenly you don't relate to each other the way that you used to, and that's something that I kind of realized after I graduated from high school, but it just hits differently now, especially because I'm older. I can't help but feel accountable for things going wrong or for friendships not working out like I originally envisioned. I tend to put a lot of the blame on myself, which I know isn't totally fair. I truly do believe that there are people who come into your life for a season, and when that season ends, so does the friendship. It doesn't mean that I hate them or that I want them out of my life forever. It just means that we're on our own paths for now. And if it's really meant to be, if it's a friendship that both of us genuinely cherish, somehow, someday, we'll cross paths again. And that's happened to me before. Friends I lost touch with years ago have suddenly come back into my life when the timing seemed to be right. This phase of life has been such a big adjustment for me. I'm no longer a student. I work full-time. I have responsibilities that weren't there before. There's this added pressure I feel to be successful in all areas of my life, and right now I would say my friendships and relationships is an area that definitely needs improvement. One way I've been sort of working on that is by redirecting my focus. I had a conversation with a friend a few months ago now about this, and she kind of opened up my perspective. Instead of beating myself up for not being social enough or not putting myself out there enough, I've been more focused on placing my energy into the friendships that I already do have enough because I am so appreciative of the people that I have in my life, and that manifests itself in so many ways by making sure that I'm regularly keeping in touch with people, checking in on them, planning times to meet up, and I honestly feel a lot more fulfilled that way because I know for a fact that these people, reciprocate my energy and want me in their life as much as I want them in mine. And while I do wish that I had more friends to grab dinner with or see a movie with or just call when I need to talk, I've also realized that I'd rather have no friends than be surrounded by people who drain me. I really do believe that energy is so contagious, and if you're constantly surrounded by people who bring negativity, it's going to take a toll on you. And I've learned to be a lot more intentional with who I keep in my life, and honestly, I feel a lot lighter because of it.